to me. It's so beautiful. 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 Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, glorious, yeah. Radiant, shining, beautiful, beautiful. Let all the peoples praise. Let all the peoples praise. Let all the earth worship. Let all the earth worship. Let all the angels sing. You're beautiful.
Hello, folks. I think we got that, and I'm not quite sure what you actually saw, heard, or connected with there, because just before I went live, my system completely crashed, and it seemed to keep going as well. So I've come back into it. I think you're there. I'm getting a few comments, so that I assume means that you can hear me and you can see me. If you'd like to just say hello, then that would be really cool, and I'll get to know who's out there and who's connecting in. And if I just get rid of that banner at the bottom as well, because you're all here now. If you haven't done already, grab a cuppa, get a drink for the evening. We're just going to have a little bit of connected fun with some quiz questions. I've got 5 rounds of kind of general knowledge. I haven't gone biblical this time. I thought I wouldn't tease you, or some maybe that are popping in on this. We'll just do a good old general knowledge quiz, and then my final round is what I've called "Who Wants a Million Hugs." It's done in the style of "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire." It's actually using the same questions that somebody who fairly recently got to £500,000 on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire didn't go for the big one. But these are exactly the same questions that they used for that quiz. So we'll see how you compare. See if you can get yourself as close as that chap did. So yeah, here we go. Hi. So I've got Ruth. I've got the Disneys. I've got Dee and Ruth. Great to see you. Tim and Susie. Fantastic. That's good news. Glad you can hear me. One thing that would be really interesting to me is the sound clear? Because I've invested in a different microphone, hopefully with the purpose of being able to get across good quality sound. We will see how that works with a guitar as well on Sunday. But I just want to make sure that the actual balance is right. So if there's any problems with the sound, please let me know, and I'll make a few adjustments to get that right while we're going through this evening. Just a quick one with the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Thanks, Tim, Susie. That's great. Who wants to be a millionaire? Quick thought about Moses when he went up Mount Sinai, and he was there with God, And you can imagine him in there, and he's thinking, "Oh, what can I ask God?" And he says, "God, I've heard that a million years is just like 1 minute." And God says, "Yeah, just like 1 minute. Yeah, absolutely. A million years, 1 minute. That's me." And then Moses says, "So does that mean to you £1 million is like 1 penny?" And God says, "Yeah, that would be true too." And so Moses thinks, my moment's here. God, can you give me £1 million? And God says, "Yeah, absolutely sure. In just a minute." The old ones are the best. Anyway, we'll be going on to the millionaire thing a bit later. But first, just see who else is joining in. I'm glad it's good on YouTube as well. That's great, because I know sometimes that can be a little bit unpleasant occasionally, and good on Facebook. That's great to hear. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Let's get into round one. It's just some fairly easy ones, I think. A bit of an icebreaker round. So round one, 10 questions. What I'd like you to do, don't use Google. Please don't go and use Google. If you can do it out of your own brain, that would help the fairness of it. And then we will come back at the end of each 10 question set, and I'll give you the answers to that. And then we'll see how we go, and we'll run it from there. I've got 5 rounds, and then we'll go into the millionaire round. Okay, first question, round one. Get your pens and paper ready. The first question is, how many legs does the legs of man have? How many legs does the legs of man have? Question one. Get your paper out, make a note of that one, write it down. So that's round one, question one. Question two, round one, is how many tails does a Manx cat have? How many tails does a Manx cat have? Question number two. Write it down. Then question number 3 of round one. How many teeth does an aardvark have? How many teeth does an aardvark have? You either know this or you don't. Like any question on a big quiz, isn't it? So that was question number 3. How many teeth does an aardvark have? Then moving to question number 4. Which sea creature has got 3 hearts? Which sea creature has got 3 hearts? Again, you either know it or you don't, but if you know it, write it down. If you don't know it, guess. Give it a go. Number 5. Which instrument, and this could be a good one for a guess, which instrument has 47 strings and 7 pedals? Which instrument has 47 strings and 7 pedals? Again, if you're not sure, give it a guess. It would be a stringed instrument, though, so that would be a fairly good place to start. So that was number 5. Number 6 is next. Whose face is said to have launched 1,000 ships? A little bit of mythology and history wrapped into one here. Whose face is said to have launched 1,000 ships? Who said that back in time? So that's round 1, question 6. And then moving on to 7. In the traditional rhyme, how many mice were blind? In the traditional rhyme, how many mice were blind? That was number 7. Then number 8. How many bones does an adult human have? So you people who are into your medical stuff, you might have an advantage, I must admit. But how many bones does an adult human have? And just to make sure that we're clear here, a child has a different number because they fuse together as they grow older, and it does change. So this is a fully grown adult. How many bones does an adult human have? That's question number 8. Then question number 9. How many pedals do most modern full pianos have? How many pedals do most modern pianos have? So we're talking about a full traditional piano, not the electronic keyboard type thing, but a proper piano. So that's question number 9. And last one of this round, question number 10. Water boils at 212 degrees on which temperature scale? So water boils at 212 degrees on which temperature scale? Number 10. Okay, that's round 1 done. We will now go back over those. Everybody got those, I hope. If you haven't got any, do you want me to go back over anyone just to clarify? Now is the moment to write it down. And I can quickly run over ones that you might have missed. Just seeing a few people coming in here. Roger, it's good to see you. David. Terry, bless you. So good to have you watching. I'm not quite sure whether you're at home or whether you're still over at Musgrove, but it's such a blessing to see that it's not as bad as you first thought, and we've been praying for you so much. So brilliant to have Terry online. Great to see you, mate. Okay, so I'm going to assume that I haven't got any questions popped up here. So I'm going to go back and we'll now go through the answers for that round 1. So round 1, number 1. How many legs does the legs of man? Oh, Ruth missed 4 and 5. You just got in there. So 4 was which sea creature has 3 hearts? Which sea creature has 3 hearts? That's number 4. Number 5, which instrument has 47 strings and 7 pedals? Just got you in there. Okay, thanks, Ruth. And right, now back to number 1. How many legs does the legs of man have? It is 3. It's that kind of weird thingy emblem of the Isle of Man, the legs of man, and there are 3 legs on the symbol. And it's on their flag. I think it's a black 3 legs with a red background as well. And whilst also on the Isle of Man, how many tails, number 2, how many tails does the Manx cat have? It's none. They don't have a tail. So it's 0, nada, none. Number 3, how many teeth does an aardvark have? Again, none. They have this big long tongue and things, but they don't have any chewing teeth. So that's the answer to that one. So that's number 3. Number 4, which sea creature has 3 hearts? It is an octopus. I know they're strange creatures. If you've got 8 limbs and 3 hearts, but that's what it is. So number 4 is an octopus. Number 5, which instrument has 47 strings, 7 pedals? It's a full harp. So when you do the whole thing, and it has loads of pedals that changes the tones and the string tensions. It's quite an amazing instrument. So that number 5 is a harp. Number 6, whose face has launched 1,000 ships? Helen of Troy. That's the answer to number 6. Number 7, in the traditional rhyme, how many mice were blind? 3. 3 blind mice, of course. Number 8, how many bones does an adult human have? 206. 206 is the answer to number 8. And how many pedals do most modern pianos have? 3. There's, especially on the any of the grands and the modern uprights, even they have 3. Have a damper, a tone, and a sustain. Number 9. How many? No, sorry, that was number 9. And number 10. What water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're old school, then you're right in there. Those of us who are of the centigrade generation or Celsius might have had a little difficulty with it, but hopefully you all got that one. So there's your first 10 questions. How did you do? Anyone get 10? Anyone get any? Would be good to know how people are doing. Quickly add them up together. Have a slurp of coffee before we go on to round 2. But it'd be good to know how people did on that. 6 from the Nolmans. Fantastic. 8 from Andrew Lane. Wow, hey, that's pretty darn good. That's very good indeed. 9 from the Disneys. Fantastic. Some pretty good scoring going on there. That's excellent. Excellent stuff. Good, good, good. Dunstan's on 5. That's pretty good going. Don't worry, there's going to be some more interesting ones. So I'm sure people will. It's all going to balance out in the end. So we'll now move on to round 2. Really should have some background music, but I couldn't actually do all of that technically. But there we go. Okay, round 2. I've called this one early years because it's a little bit of stuff, kid stuff. So it'll either take you back to your memories or you'll need to go and bring the grandchildren. So let's have a look and see if we could get into this on round 2. So question 1, round 2. Who went to school with a lamb? Who went to school with a lamb? That's question number 1. Okay, and then if you have question number 2, round 2, it is who sat in a corner eating a Christmas pie? Larissa just shouted it from upstairs because she was trying to rest, but she's obviously got it on. So if you heard the answer, then that's a bonus. I heard it from here, so you might have done. Anyway, so the question is, who sat in the corner eating a Christmas pie? Question number 3. Let's move on quickly. Please don't answer it, Lara. Where did the lady wearing rings on her fingers and bells on her toes ride to? Okay, so in the rhyme, there's a lady wearing rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Where was she riding to? That's question number 3. And oh, you're coming in. I'm
the dog.
Larissa arrives. So does the dog. Brilliant. I mean, I'll just move everything across a little bit. Excuse me if I'm making noises with the mic. Just moving it so the dog doesn't bang it, or our coffees either. So, okay. So that was number 3. Number 4. He's comfortable. Number 4. Which item of nursery furniture was set on the top of a tree? Which item of nursery furniture was set in the top of a tree? That's number 4.
I can see the answers.
Yes, you can see the answers, and that's not.
I won't say anything else.
Try not to. It's difficult enough to read the answer, read the questions without saying the answer at the end. That's greatest discipline possible. Number 5. Which traditional rhyme was actually about the Great Plague? Quite in vogue at the moment. So, which traditional children's rhyme was actually about the Great Plague? That's question number 5. Then number 6 of round 2. Name the once popular boys building game which was aimed at developing understanding of mechanics and electronics. So there's a popular boys building game, and it was aimed at developing understanding of mechanics and electronics. What was it called? You could buy whole sets of this. So that's question number 6. Just seen that Colin in Uganda is watching. Fantastic to see you, my friend. Not sure if you get some of the, because these are very English rhymes. You might know some of them, you might not, but hey, join in if you want. It's just a fun quiz night. So let's see how test your English general knowledge. Number 7, there was a doll which was famous for crying. What was its name? What was it called? The doll that was famous for crying. There was loads of advertising back in the day with that one. What was the doll called? So that's number 7. Number 8, which furry creatures lived on Wimbledon Common? What are the furry creatures that lived on Wimbledon Common? You got the tune going in your head now, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Don't sing it. Don't sing it out. Not out loud. And it wasn't a dog. We'll sing it when we do the answers.
That was a clue.
Okay, that was question number 8. Question number 9. If you rode a chopper, what was this? If you rode a chopper, what was this? That's question number 9. And then question number 10. A great thing from the playground of my childhood. If you soaked this in vinegar and then hung it on a string, what was it? You soaked it in vinegar, hung it on a string. What was it? That's question
I never soaked
number
it
10.
in vinegar.
It was a traditional thing to do, but you didn't have to. Sometimes you managed to do it without.
Well, I never soaked mine in vinegar.
Okay. Okay, so that's round 2.
Must be a reason.
Anybody miss any that we can go back to, or are you all okay? If we're all good, I will go back to the top and we will start answering round 2.
Oh, nobody said anything.
No, all looks good. Right then, so let's time to get your scores. Round 2, question 1. Who went to school with a lamb? Mary did. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow.
And everywhere that Mary went, her lamb was sure to go.
There we go. We're going to get the full answers from...
No,
Number 2. Who sat in the corner eating Christmas pie?
Little Jack
Horner. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner.
Little Jack Horner.
Little Jack Horner sat in a corner eating his Christmas pie. That was
And down came the spider.
No, that was another one.
Oh, sorry. What is I got it wrong.
Okay, number 3. Where did the lady with rings on her fingers and bells on her toes ride to? Banbury Cross. That was the answer to number 3. Banbury Cross. And number 4. Which item of nursery furniture was on top of the tree? It was a cradle. I remember my my good friends Mark and Steve. But back in the time when I was in Saltmine, they used to sing a song that went something along the lines of "Rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. When the bough breaks, the cradle will rock. That's all very well, but what bothers me is why Mum and Dad shoved me up a tree." Yeah, that's all a bit weird, isn't it? How you ended up there, but that's the answer. It's cradle. Great. Sorry, the dog just belched.
Excuse me, it wasn't that. Our mouse didn't move.
Oh, amazing.
I'm going to move that down.
What? No, that's all we got. Yeah, that's all we got. I've got a bit more down here. A minute, I'll just move this over for so we can both see what's going on here now that Bruce is with us. That's cool. Okay, where did I get to? Yeah, that was number 4, cradle. Number 5, which traditional children's rhyme was about the plague? It was Ring-a-Ring-a-Roses. Ring-a-Ring-a-Roses, a pocket full of posies, a posy that you would take to the graveside, a tissue, we all fall down. It was the sneezing, just like now, a coughing, sneezing, that was the symptom that showed that you had the plague. So it was not dissimilar in many ways to remembering what we're going through at the moment. So quite sobering, actually. Sombering? It was somber or it was sobering. It can't be both. Yeah. Okay, number 6. Once popular building game mechanics and electronics was good old Meccano. Did anybody have a Meccano set? Awesome. Great fun. You could build all sorts of stuff. I quickly moved on to Lego, actually. I found that I was more into building than the tech stuff. Number 7. So that was number 6, was Meccano. Number 7, name the doll which was famous for crying. It was Tiny Tears. Did you ever have a Tiny Tears?
I didn't, but your sister did.
My sister did. There we go. So yeah, there's a whole generation that had crying babies. Then number 8, which furry creatures lived on Wimbledon Common? Wombles of Wimbledon Common are we, making good things that they usually find. Yeah, Wombles is the answer. I'm sorry about that. That was just. This is coffee, isn't it?
It is, definitely.
So that was number 8. Number 9, if you rode a chopper, you were on a bicycle. It was one of those big back wheel, front wheel hang bars. They were rather cool. If you didn't have that, you might have had a grifter, which is a bit more. What's the word? Rugged, I think. Anyway, number 10.
What about BMX?
Oh, they were a bit later.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
okay.
choppers was kind of that 70s thing.
Right,
was
so
chopper.
they were,
Yeah,
they were
BMX
early 80s.
80s, 90s, yeah. And finally, if you soaked it in vinegar or not, you might have baked it in the oven or something like that. It was a conker. So if you got
Conquer games.
conquer and try and smash the other person's. So there you have our early years round 2. That was the 10 questions. How did you do on round 2? Pop up some scores. Tell me that did anyone get a 10? I think this is one that's possible you could have done.
If not,
it's all right if you didn't. It's only a bit of fun. But did you? Yay! No one's got one.
I thought they would.
You should do, really. Tim says he got 10. Andrew Lane, 8. Pretty good going.
Shirley's at work listening to it, isn't she? Tim and Susie, 10.
Oh, very good, very good, very good. Disney's got 9.
Oh.
Pretty standard.
Sharon,
see, what a comeback. Fantastic. Well done. Awesome. Okay, we will now.
Is that everybody?
Is that? I think that's most. And Roger got 8. Fabulous. Well done, my friend.
Oh, who else has come in?
Yeah, that was Roger. And Dean Ruth got 9. Well done. Okay, moving on to round 3. We'll add these all up. We'll get an average by adding them all up. So it'll be out of 50 in this first section. So we're now on to round 3. We've done 20, 30 to go. These are a little bit tricky in places. This might be a little bit of history, a little bit of geography, a little bit more interesting kind of things in this one. So see how you go with this. If I'm honest, I don't expect any 10s in this round, but let's have a go and try our best. And again, if you don't know it, give it a guess. Okay, round 3. Question 1. What was the name given to the soldiers who protected the Roman emperor? What was the special name given to the soldiers who protected the Roman emperors? Ooh, so bit of historical knowledge going on here, please. Okay, that's question number 1.
Sorry.
Okay, question number 2. Which 2 metals is pewter made from? Which 2 metals, they're melted together, so it's an alloy. Which 2 metals is pewter made from? That's question number 2. Question number 3. What was Louis Armstrong? What form of music was Louis Armstrong famous for? What form of music was Louis Armstrong famous for? It's not a clue really, but it was my mum's favourite musician in her childhood as she grew up. Number 4, a bit of geography now. Can you name the port found in Rome, Italy? The name of the port found by Rome in Italy. It's actually just about kind of 18 kilometers from the city centre. We know that because we flew in there in February, and that was very close. There were all signs very close to where the airport is, going to this very place that's just outside of Rome. So what's the name of the port in Rome? That was number 4. Number 5, Paul Newman, the actor, he ate 50 eggs in which film? Paul Newman ate 50 eggs in which film? Quite famously did that. What was the name of the film? So that's number 5. Number 6. Now we're going a bit classy on the music side here. So Don Alfonso is the lead role in which opera? Don Alfonso is the lead role in which opera? I don't know how many opera fans we've got. Maybe you're closet opera fans. You've been listening to a bit on the side. This is your moment. Okay, so that's number 6. Number 7. Which city does the River Lagan flow through? Which city does the River Lagan flow through? I'll give you a clue. It is in Europe. Okay, so that's number 7. Number 8. Question number 8. Who sang about being an eggman and a walrus? Who sang about being an eggman and a walrus? If you knew in that certain time, it will be obvious to you. Okay, number 9. What takes place in Hong Kong's Happy Valley? There's a certain thing that happens in that place. So what takes place in Hong Kong's Happy Valley? What is it that happens there on a regular basis? So that's question number 9. And finally in this round, number 10, which country does the sport of Paletto come from? What country does the sport of Paletto come from? If you don't know, have a guess. Okay, that's all 10 questions. Anybody want me to repeat any? Are we okay with those? Just give me a shout if we need any repeating. Are we okay? Are we okay? And have we had any, haven't had anybody else join us since we've been here? No, not. Still the same group of people. That's great. Okay, in that case, I'll go back to the top. We'll go back to the top of round 3. And we'll start with question number 1. What was the name given to the soldiers who protected the Roman emperors? They were called the Praetorian Guard. The Praetorian Guard, spelt Praetorian Guard. Praetorian Guard. That was the, if you've done it phonetically, then that's fine. But am I seeing you on number 6 from Christine? It was Don Alfonso is the lead role from which opera? Don Alfonso is the lead role in which opera? So hopefully you get that one, Christine. So then we're going to question number 2. Which 2 metals is pewter made from? It is tin and lead. Tin and lead. So it's quite a soft metal when it all comes out, but not quite as deadly as lead on its own. although I wouldn't recommend eating it. So that's number 2. Number 3, Louis Armstrong's chosen form of music was jazz, man. Some fantastic jazz stuff that he did. Famous for playing the trumpet as well and singing in a real, very unique way. So that's Louis Armstrong is a jazz man. That's number 3. Number 4, the name of the port at Rome is Ostia, spelled Ostia, Ostia. That's the Rome port. Then on to number 5, Paul Newman, 850 Eggs in Cool Hand Luke. Do you remember that film? Just classic Paul Newman. There's just a whole season, and for about 10 years, just did a load of really very on-trend films, and Cool Hand Luke was one of those. 850 Eggs. Then we've got Don Alfonso is the lead role in which opera? It's Così fan tutti by Mozart. Così fan tutti by Mozart. Number 7, which city does the River Lagan flow through? It's Belfast. So it's a very Irish river. Belfast is the city in number 7. Number 8, who sang about being an Edman and a walrus? It was the Beatles. Of course it was. Beatles was number 8. Number 9, what takes place in Hong Kong's Happy Valley? It's where they do their horse racing in Hong Kong. It's horse racing. So that was number 9. And which country does the sport of Peleto come from? It's a Spanish thing. It's Spain. That's where that comes from. Okay, that was round 3. Tot up your answers. See how many of you you actually got in there. Who came out top this time? And we'll start adding them up to the others. We're in round 3. Just got round 4, 5 before we go on to the millionaire round. How did you do? Oh, yes, it was a bit harder, wasn't it? Tim and Susie get 4. Thank you for being so honest. Appreciate that. Oh, the Disney's got 4 as well. Seems to be a pretty good score. 2 and a 3 for the lanes. Yeah, I know there was some tough ones in there. And Roger came up with 5. Champion coming back. Mr. Norman with 2. Oh, I needed that coffee. It's good. Okay. So that's most of us, I think. Right, we'll pile on into round 4. Oh, 2.5. Which bit did the half come from? That was great. You only got a horse and not racing. Oh. Or just a Beatle instead of the Beatles. Okay, round 4. Round 4. Let's go with this. And this time, a little bit of well, it's all general knowledge actually, but a few things to make you think in terms of maths as well with this one. Round 4. Number 1. What is 1/4 of 1,000? What is 1/4 of 1,000? If you know the number, write it down. Need to do a quick sum? Have a go. Go for it. Ah, I see. That was the half. Tin and lead. You got tin or lead. Yeah, that could have been that. We got the guards. Oh, well done, Dee. That's great. Okay, so yeah, 1/4 of 1,000 is number 1. Number 2, also using the brain with a little bit of maths. Which is larger, 50% or 5/8? Which is larger, 50% or 5/8? If you know, write it down. Number 3, How many sides in total would there be if you had, and you imagine them drawn on a page, 3 triangles and 3 rectangles? You've got 3 triangles, 3 rectangles. How many sides have you got in total? Quick brain strain as you work that one through. Okay, away from the math stuff. Who was this? He changed the name of his ship from the Pelican to the Golden Hind. Who was it? He changed the name of his ship from the Pelican to the Golden Hind. Who was it? That's number 4. Number 5. What is Manzanilla? What is Manzanilla? Can you tell me what that is? If you can, write it down. Make sure that you write it in full. And that was number 5. Number 6. Number 6. Big word here. I will also spell it as well as trying to say it. What is entomophobia? So what is entomophobia? That's spelt entomophobia. So it's a phobia of something, and it's a entomophobia. What is that about? That's number 6. Number 7, name the actor who died in 1984 who also starred in the film 1984. So who was the actor who died in 1984 but also starred in the film named or titled 1984? Who was it? That was number 7. Number 8, which ocean surrounds the Maldives? So those islands in the middle of an ocean, which ocean is it? Which ocean surrounds the Maldives? That's number 8. Then number 9, which Scottish person, which Scot, founded the Presbyterian Church? Which Scot famously founded the Presbyterian Church? That's number 9. And then finally, a little bit of history. When did the French Revolution end? What date? And I'll say that I'll give you within a couple of years either side of this one. It is pretty famous, but I'll give you a couple of years either side. So when did the French Revolution end? Okay, that is the end of round 4. Well done so far. How are we doing? We got anybody that needs any repetitions on that one on round 4? Are we okay? Just see if there's anyone that wants any re-asking of a question before we give you the answers. All looking good so far. So I will start to go through the answers. Round 4. Question 1, 1,250 is 250. That is your answer for question number 1. 1,250 is 250. Number 2, which is larger, 50% or 5/8? The answer is 5/8 because 4/8 is the same as 50%. 5/8 is more. 3, how many sides in total would the triangles and 3 rectangles have? The total is 21. 21. So you got, yeah. That's just the right answer. Number 4, who changed the name of his ship from the Pelican to the Golden Hind? It was Sir Francis Drake. Sir Francis Drake famously went in the Golden Hind around the world. What is number 5? Manzanilla. Manzanilla is actually a light sherry. A light sherry. So I'll give you the point if you just say sherry. That's fine. If you get a light sherry, which is the correct answer, I'll give you half a bonus. That was number 5. Number 6. What is entomophobia? It is the irrational fear of insects, not spiders. Just about anything else with insects. Entomophobia. So now you know. Number 7. So that was number 6. Entomophobia, rational fear of insects. Number 7. The actor who died. Oh, a minute. It's just gone off me. I've lost it. Ah! I know the answer, but I've just lost a bit of my information here. Okay. The name of the actor who died in 1984 and also starred in it was Richard Burton. So he is the guy who is the answer to number 7. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Number 8. Which ocean surrounds the Maldives? It's the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean is all around the Maldives. Number 9. The Scot that founded the Presbyterian Church was John Knox. John Knox, spelt Knox, is the founder of the Presbyterian Church in Scotland. Number 10. When did the French Revolution end? It was 1799. So I said a couple of years either side of that. 1799 was the correct answer. So if you got 1797, 8, 9, 1800, 1801, I'll let you have that one. Okay. How did you do on that round? That's all 10 answers. Let me know. I've got a very, very keen dog here. How you doing? Hey, come on. Say hi. There we go. A little bit of interlude entertainment while I get licked. So how do people do? Larissa? Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to answer the door. See you in a minute. Hello. Okay, I'll nip round and get that. Hang on a moment. No, I'll check it over. All righty. Yes, I am. Yes, please. Paul's gone in the garden, bless him.
Okay, she's gone round to catch it. Or...
I said we'll check it over.
Okay, is it on mute?
Yeah. Oh, that's great. We got the wonderful new neighbours, and we got kids, and we got and they just kicked a ball over the fence. Love it. First time that's happened. Okay, how are we doing here? We've got 6, 5, 6, a 3 and a 6 and a 4, and well done, Ruth. You got John Knox. Fantastic. Though there's somebody who really knows their history there of the church. That's awesome. Well done, everybody. Right, we've just got one more round before we get to our one that I've called Million Hugs. We'll come on to that in just a moment, and it's a little bit different from this. So this is the last of this type of quizzing, and we're going to go on to a multiple choice in a kind of millionaire style thing in a minute. So last round, round 5. Let's have a go at this one. First question of round 5. What was the name of the Chinese writer who was born in 551 BC, known for teaching moral standards? What was the Chinese writer born in 551 BC, known for teaching high moral standards? So obviously a Far Eastern, so think of your Far Eastern people who would be known for that kind of thing. 551 years before Christ. So that's number 1. Number 2, name the fictional character whose household duties did not prevent her from getting to the dance. Name the fictional character whose household duties did not prevent her in the determination to get to the dance. Yes, Disney did do something on it. Number 3, What did A.E. Frick invent in 1887, which is now worn by millions of people? So what did A.E. Frick, spelled F-R-I-C-K, invent in 1887 that's now worn by millions around the world? What was that thing that he invented? That's question number 3. Question number 4. Which hero in a certain season has a song talking of his very shiny nose? Which hero in the seasonal song has got a very shiny nose?
That's easy.
That's number 4. Number 5. Usually partnered with milk, but sometimes also in certain parts of the world with jam and custard. What is the yellow/golden dry food? What is it? So it's usually partnered with milk, but sometimes in other parts of the world also jam and custard. It's a yellow goldy dry food. What is it? That's number 5. Number 6, a little bit of a riddle with this one. A little bit of a riddle. Available in many sizes and styles and able to halt at any train-free station. What am I? Available in many sizes and styles. Available in many sizes and styles and able to halt at many a train-free station. What am I? I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about that one. It's a bit of a riddle. And I'll say it one more time. Available in many sizes and styles and able to halt at many a train-free station. What am I? Okay, so that's number 6. Number 7, there's a stringless fictional character created by Carlo Collodi. Can't even say it now. Collodi, over 100 years ago. What is the character? So what fictional stringless character was created by Carlo Collodi over 100 years ago? That's number 7. Number 8. Which English national park is associated with poets and an illustrator of small animals? Which English national park is associated with poets and an illustrator of small animals? And that's number 8. Number 9. Which London square is famous, or infamous even, for its pigeon population? Which London square is famous for its pigeon population? And final one of this kind of question. Who was the Hollywood star born in 1928 who made her first film at the age of 3 and was famous for frilly dresses and ringlets? Say that one more time. Number 10. Who was a Hollywood star who was born in 1928, made her first film at the age of just 3, and was famous for frilly dresses and ringlets? Who was that? Okay, that's the last question of round 5. Any ones that need repeating, or can I go straight into the answers? Any questions to catch up on, or are we okay? I think we're doing okay. Right then, I will go back, and here come the answers. The name of the Chinese writer for question number 1, who was born in 551 BC, known for teaching high moral standards, was Confucius. Confucius, he say. And I don't know any of his actual quotes, but it was Confucius who did it. Number 2. The name of the character whose household duties did not prevent her determination to go to the dance was, of course, Cinderella. Cinderella always got there in the end. Excuse me. So that is number 2. Number 3. What did A.E. Frick invent in 1887, which is now worn by millions of people, and some of you might even have them on now, contact lenses in your eyes. A.E. Frick invented contact lenses right back in 1887. Seasonal song with the hero with a very shiny nose was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Of course it was. Rudolph was your answer there. Number 5, usually partnered with milk, but also in some parts of the world, jam and custard. The yellow gold dry food was cornflakes. Cornflakes is the answer to number 5. Number 6, the little tongue, or not twister, the riddle, available in many sizes and styles and able to halt at many a train-free station. What am I? I am a radio. If you got that one, give yourself a big tick. A radio for number 6. Number 7, your stringless character was Pinocchio. That was answer to number 7. Number 8, the English National Park is the Lake District. The Lake District, yes, many a poet and illustrator have been there, but particularly Beatrix Potter, of course. Number 9, the London Square with the pigeons is Trafalgar Square. And finally, number 10, who was the Hollywood star? It was Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple was the 3-year-old star right the way back in the day. So hopefully you got a few of those. How did you do with that round? And while you're looking up your answers there, I'm just going to prepare myself for the next little bit of the quiz. Okay. So, there we go. How did you do? So we've got some 7s, got a 4, got a 4, got a 6, another 7. Oh, fab. Some pretty good scores there all round. That's all good. So what I would suggest is you give yourself a total out of 50 for that first half. Well, it's actually more than half. But those first 5 rounds, give yourself a total out of 50 right now, and see how you did overall. Have we got a kind of winner from the top, the front half of that? And then we'll move on to our quiz of a million hugs. So top those up. How did people do overall out of 50? 36 out of 50. I'd say anything over 25 is actually pretty good. So 36 is excellent. 29's in there. That's all right. Absolutely. 33, excellent from the Disneys. $31 from the Lanes. 24, very good, Roger. Well done. Excellent stuff. I think that's pretty good all round. I think you should give yourselves a good pat on the back. Now, what I've got with the next the next bit, I've got just the same as the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire does in terms of having 15 questions. You go all your way through. But I thought, we don't need your money, and I haven't got £1 million to give you. But what we want to do is give one another a hug. They're the things, in the rarest commodity at the moment is a good hug with somebody. So what we're going for here is 1 million hugs as being our ultimate prize, and we'll see how many we can get when we're allowed to do it. So we're just a bit of fun, but using the questions that were once used, well, actually fairly recently, with a contestant in the most recent Millionaire series, the latest season of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. The chap got up to £500,000. He knew the last one, but didn't risk it, and didn't get the final one. But we got it's exactly as it was on the telly in terms of which questions, and so we'll just run with that. Okay. So I'm going to minimize myself over to the side over there, and hopefully you can see our Million Hugs screen there. And as I click through, hopefully it will allow me to go through the screens. So here's your first question. Can you see the words on the screen? And you need to decide an answer. Once we've decided an answer, and then I will give you a few moments to consider, and then I will give you the answer. So you need to each one as we go along. You will get an answer as we go. Now, what we need to do, basically, you need to see how far you can go in a series. So if you do get one wrong, then that takes you back to the first. So you're back to question. Back to 100 hugs. So see, it's how many people or how far can you get? If you can get all the way, that's great. If you get one wrong, then the next one is starting from one again, and see if you can get a sequence of 5, 6, 7 steps in a row. So it's who gets the most steps in the sequence is the winner. Okay. So let's go for question number 1 for 100 hugs. Which of these products is sold by the brand Colgate, Oral-B, and Sensodyne? Is it A, deodorant, B, shampoo, C, toothpaste, or D, sun cream? Write your answer down. And if I give you the answer before you've managed to get the right answer, then obviously we can't give you that point. So it's A, deodorant, B, shampoo, C, toothpaste. No, you can't look at Google. And if you phone a friend, you need to tell us. But the answer for this one, Colgate, Oral-B, and Sensodyne, are all C, toothpaste. There we go. So that's toothpaste. Answer question number 1. Hope you all got that one right. Question number 2 for 200 hugs. Which tool was used as a weapon by the Norse god Thor? What did he use? Was it A, pliers, B, a hammer, C, a screwdriver, D, a saw? Which tool was used as a weapon by the Norse god Thor? Pliers, a hammer, screwdriver, or a saw? Write your answer down now. And the answer is hammer. Yeah, most of us know that, probably because we watched The Avengers. Okay, going on to the next question. So question 3 for 300 hugs when we get back together. What was the name of the classic dessert consisting of sponge cake and ice cream covered in meringue? What's the classic name or the classic dessert consisting of sponge cake, ice cream, and meringue? Is it A, baked Rhode Island? Is it a baked Wyoming? Is it a baked Connecticut? Or is it D, a baked Alaska? So it's A, a baked Rhode Island, B, baked Wyoming, C, baked Connecticut, D, baked Alaska. The answer is baked Alaska. Hopefully we had a few of those. Let's see how. Oh, we hopefully we've got 3 in a row so far. Going on to the next one. Question 4 for 500 hugs. Trigonometry is a branch of which subject? Is it A, biology, B, economics, C, psychology, or D, mathematics. These are real questions that came onto Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We're now using them to get 500 hugs. Trigonometry was a branch of subject. Was it A, biology, B, economics, C, psychology, D, mathematics? It was mathematics. It was D. Hope you got that one. Okay, next one. We're now question number 5. We're in the market for 1,000 hugs. Lily Savage was a persona of which TV personality? Lily Savage was a persona of which TV personality? Was it A, Paul O'Grady, B, Barry Humphries? He thinks he knows what the answer is. Zeke. Paul O'Grady is A. B, Barry Humphries. C, Les Dawson. Or D, Brendan O'Carroll. Who was the Lily Savage was a persona of which TV personality? Paul O'Grady, Barry Humphries, Les Dawson, or Brendan O'Carroll? The answer is Paul O'Grady. Paul O'Grady. They all had alter egos that were feminine, but that was the correct answer. It's Paul O'Grady who did that one. Okay, question number 6. We're now starting to go for the big money, or the big numbers, or hugs. 2,000 hugs on this one. In which of these means a speech in a play where the character talks to themselves rather than to other characters? I'm sorry that it looks like the characters got a bit messed up in translation to this particular software, but okay, which means in a play where the character talks to themselves rather than to other characters, is the technical term A, an interlude, B, a review, C, a soliloquy, or D, a chorus? So when the character in a play talks to themselves rather than to the other characters, are we talking about A, an interlude, B, a review, C, a soliloquy, D, chorus? Either you know it or you don't. Sometimes they start getting harder after those first 5, don't they? So you either know or you don't. This means that are you going to be able to continue the streak? There might have been some of you that hopefully have got 5 already so far in a row. Can you continue the streak? Okay, answer coming up now. Ready? It is soliloquy. That was C. Hope you got that one as well. Right, let's see who can get this one. Question 7, nearly halfway. Question 7 for 4,000 hugs. Which of these religious events is celebrated in Hinduism? Tim and Susie, if you don't get this, sorry. So, which of these is a religious event celebrated in Hinduism? A, Diwali, B, Ramadan, C, Hanukkah, D, Whitsun. So that's which of these religious events celebrated in Hinduism is A, Diwali, B, Ramadan, C, Hanukkah, D, Whitsun. I'm guessing that most of us would have an idea about this one, unless we get mixed up with another world religion. So, yeah. Have you got this one right? For question 7 for 4,000 hugs. Did you get it right? Here we go. It is D, Diwali. Yes, Tim and Susie, you were right. I'm absolutely sure. So, yeah, that was number 7. Number 8. Question for 8,000 hugs. Now we're getting to some serious hugging here. British athlete Katarina Johnson-Thompson became a world champion in which athletics event in 2019? So this is in the last World Championships. Which British athlete Katarina Johnson-Thompson became a world champion in which athletics event? Was it A, heptathlon, B, a marathon, C, 100 meters, D, 400 meters hurdles? I'll say those again. It's A, heptathlon, B, a marathon, C, 100 meters, D, 400 meters hurdles. Which one was it? Do you know? Could you guess? It was boom, A, heptathlon. Okay, so we're on question number 8. Has anyone got all 8 so far? We're just over that halfway point for 8,000 hugs. Give me a big smiley face and say me if you've got all 8 so far. Who's got the most in a row so far? Anybody give me an indication of whether you got some of these? D, yes, well done. Fantastic. 8 in a row. We are rocking. We've got some, yeah, well done, Andrew. Fantastic. Brilliant, Tim and Susie. Oh, that's good to know. Some of those, yeah, some of them you either know them or you don't. But so you don't really. So this is genuine stuff. These are the same questions that they had on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire just a few months ago. So well done, everybody that's got in there so far. Doing a fantastic job. Right, I'm gonna move on now to the next one. So we're now talking. Oh, we're just gonna click on the screen over here. Question number 9 for 16,000 hugs. We are now getting into the serious stuff. Which iconic horror film? And these aren't my questions; these are the ones that came up there. So I'm not particularly into horror films, but which iconic horror film involves a couple whose newborn child is replaced at birth with the Antichrist? I guess it's probably not great viewing for that many people in the church. But was it A, The Shining, B, Don't Look Now, C, The Exorcist, or D, The Omen? So which iconic horror film involves a couple whose newborn child is replaced at birth with the Antichrist? Was it A, The Shining, B, Don't Look Now, C, The Exorcist, or D, The Omen? This might be the undoing of some of us who are proudly saying, yes, we've got everything so far, and now we don't know. It could happen. It can happen. So let's have a look. And really glad that Dan is just connected with us and joining in. Great to see you. Hopefully the kids are in bed. Yeah, so this is an interesting one. Or were you a secret horror film watcher when you were younger? Okay, so the answer to this question is The Omen. It was a classic film of its time. Okay, so question number 9 is D, The Omen. Next question, number 10 for 32,000 hugs. Absolutely massive. Now, here's where it starts to get tricky. If you're not into opera, I'm sorry. in the opera by Rossini, what's the first name of the Barber of Seville? In the opera by Rossini, what's the first name of the Barber of Seville? Was it A, Tamino? Was it B, Alfredo? Was it C, Don Carlos? Or was it D, Figaro? So was it A, Tamiano, B, Alfredo, C, Don Carlos, or D, Figaro? Put your answer down now. See if you can get what that Rossini Barber of Seville's name was. What's his first name? Okay. Coming down now. Ready. It was Figaro, 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 Figaro. Sorry, I couldn't help it. So it was D, Figaro. Next. Oh, now we're into really big numbers. 64,000 hugs for the person who can get this one. Question 11. Which of these books is believed to be inspired by the real life experiences of the Scottish sailor Alexander Selkirk? Which of these books is believed to have been inspired by the real life experiences of the Scottish sailor Alexander Selkirk? Was it A, Moby Dick, B, Robinson Crusoe, C, Treasure Island, or D, The Court of Monte Cristo? A, Moby Dick, B, Robinson Crusoe, C, Treasure Island, D, The Court of Monte Cristo. What do you think it was? Any ideas? Brainstorm. Which one was it? I have to admit, when I first looked at this question, I got it wrong. I made an assumption and I got it wrong. Can you get it right? It is. Hopefully you've got an answer by now. Are you ready? It's Robinson Crusoe. For some reason, the whole thing Sailor got me out of thing, and I went for Moby Dick in my head, and it was just wrong. So yeah, see if you can get hold of that one. Robinson Crusoe. If you got that, you're in for 64,000 hugs. Okay, question 12. Question 12. We're now into some serious stuff. 125,000 hugs if you get this one. Ready? Which toxic substance is obtained from the pressed seeds of the castor oil plant? Which toxic substance is obtained from the pressed seeds of the castor oil plant? Is it A, sarin, B, strychnine, C, ricin, D, cyanide? Don't worry, Andy. You can get back in, but you can get more consecutive things to see if you can get to the end. That's fine. So have a look at this one. Do you think the toxic substance that comes from castor oil is sarin for A, B, strychnine, C, ricin, D, cyanide? What do you think it is? This is, again, it's one of those ones you probably either know it or you don't know it. It was ricin. Yeah. I know. It's tough, isn't it? Sometimes it's just the way it is. And we move on to question number 13. Oh, why is that not working? Come on. Question number 13. For 250,000 hugs, the 12 apostles, and when you read this at the beginning, you think, oh, great, it's a Bible one. No, it's not. The 12 apostles is a series of peaks connecting to which mountain? So it's a geography one here. 12 apostles is a series of peaks connected to which mountain? Is it A, the Aoraki Mountain Cook? Aoraki Mountain Cook? Is it B, K2? Is it C, Table Mountain, or D, Mont Blanc? So is it either the Aoraki Mount Cook, B, K2, C, Table Mountain, or D, Mont Blanc? We haven't got any mountaineering people. My son-in-law would probably have a really good guess at this because he is a bit of a mountaineer. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anybody can get this with the geography that we've got. Okay, are you ready, folks? Did you guess right if you gave it a guess? It is, in fact, Table Mountain. It's South Africa. So there's a whole series behind that great big Table Mountain right on the coast in South Africa. So, is anybody actually still in with all 13 questions correct so far? Anybody still in? I know that, Andrew, you said you're out. Is there anybody that can go for the big guns here? Are we still... Anyone still punting for it, or are we just going for the longest run that we can, having dropped out of one? Give us a shout. Let me know how you're doing. I'll just pop this back. Yeah, so how are you doing, people? Have you managed to keep up so far? No. Oh, Mr. Nolman, you're still in. Or was that... No, that was earlier, wasn't it? How are you doing now? Oh, out on that one. Oh, that was tough, wasn't it? The geography stuff is always Again, you either know it or you don't. It's a bit of a tricky one. Let's see if we can get these last ones. See if you could actually get that last classic Top Gun stuff. So we'll go for 500,000 hugs. I'll tell you what, we'll go for it anyway. We don't mind if you dropped out one or two. Let's see if you know these. Okay, so question 14. Can you get this? For 500,000 hugs, you're going to get a lot of hugging when you get back into fellowship here. First performed in 1804, Beethoven's Erosia Symphony was originally dedicated to which historical figure? So, well done, Tim and Susie. New run of 3 going here. That's good. We keep going. So, was the Beethoven's Erosia Symphony, was it originally for Marie Antoinette on A, Napoleon Bonaparte B, Louis the 18th of France, is C, or D, was it Voltaire? So who was it for? Was it Marie Antoinette, Napoleon Bonaparte B, C, Louis the 18th of France, or was it D, Voltaire? Can you tell me which of those it was for? Give you a couple of seconds to have a think about that one. This is the one that the gentleman who recently won £500,000 got right to get his 500 grand. So he was obviously a little bit of a classical music kind of guy, because it'd been the earlier opera one as well that he got right. And the answer is Napoleon Bonaparte. It was done for him. Beethoven composed it and dedicated it to him. Okay, so here's the big one. Question 15. For 1 million hugs, which of these iconic races was held first? So was it A, the Le Mans 24 Hours? Was it B, the Monaco Grand Prix? Was it C, the Indy 500? Or was it D, the Isle of Man TT? So even if you hadn't got any of them, or you've only got a few, or you missed out and you've had to restart, I don't care. Let's all go in together for 1 million hugs. Which of these iconic races was held first? Was it A, the Le Mans 24 Hours? Was it B, the Monaco Grand Prix? Was it C, Indy 500? Or was it D? So I realised that the screen wasn't very big there. Or was it D, the Isle of Man TT? Hopefully you can see that. Give you a couple of seconds to think about it. Which one came first? Are all pretty iconic races. So Monaco's obviously in Monaco, Le Mans, France, Indy 500, America, Isle of Man TT. I'm guessing that's on the Isle of Man. Which one was the first one to be held? Okay. Final little moment, and you get the doom. It was. The button didn't work. It was the Isle of Man TT. That's the one. That was the oldest of them all. Fantastic. And that, my friends, is all we have in terms of quizzing for you tonight. Hopefully that's been a bit of fun. How many of you managed to get, I don't know, 10 of those questions right? Or even more? How many of those could you get hold of? Because there was pretty good ones in that lot. And did anyone get the last one right? Would you have won the 1 million hugs? Please tell me. Tell me what you're thinking. I'm just going to put this. There we go. That's good. So 11's pretty darn good going. 10's good. 13, 14 out of 15. Tim and Susie, you should go on Millionaire. Just saying. That would be cool. And yeah, fabulous. Got the 3 wrong. We've got the last one. Cracking. Well done, Dee and Ruth. That's fantastic. Awesome stuff. Well, folks, that's all I got. It's really great that you're able to come and join in, have a bit of fun. Hopefully, you'll be able to join us on Sunday, 11 o'clock. We're going to have a really good time with God's presence together. I am so excited for what he's been sort of talking to me about in readiness for that. So please, please, please join us for 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. It's going to be great together. So come along, and we look forward to seeing you then. All right. Bless you guys. Good night. Get yourselves a good night's rest. Good night.